Hi, in this lesson we're going to go ahead and learn how to post a website using GitHub Pages. So first we're going to create a GitHub account using our email, and then we're going to create a repository, and then we're going to configure GitHub Pages to show our hello page. And I went ahead and changed things up a little bit. In the introduction I mentioned that we'd be making it look better later on in the lessons. We're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to use Bootstrap, so that's going to make the look be a lot more modern. And that will allow us to have that tool throughout the rest of the lesson. So instead of getting to the point where our blog is hosted on the internet but it looks ugly, we're going to have it go ahead and look decent starting with this lesson. So what we're going to learn today is how you could post any website and run it on GitHub Pages for free. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to go ahead and create our GitHub account using our email. And I created a throwaway email here so I could show you the process from the beginning. So this is assuming that you have an email already. If you don't, you'll have to get one. You probably have one though. So you'll use that email to create your GitHub account. And we're going to go ahead and do that. What's going to happen is GitHub's going to send us a verification to this email. So we're going to check our inbox and we'll have that verification in a moment. Let's go ahead and open a new tab and go to github.com. So here in github.com, we're going to click the sign up button. And then we get a space age form entry. I'm just going to paste my email in here. You go ahead and paste yours in there too. And then I'm going to create a password for this account. And it's remembering my old one, and that's okay because I remember what it is. Go ahead and type a password that you're going to remember and just click continue. And then it remembered my username too. So I'm going to go ahead and change it to this throwaway number or name because name this GitHub username what you want it to be for your website. So for me, it would be fullstackclouddeveloper.com, but I already have that one, so I'm showing you this here. So when you create this account, it's going to challenge us, and you have to click the verify button. I usually wait for something to happen, and it doesn't, so you have to click this verify button, and now we get the challenge. And so we're going to go ahead and line up that hammer. This is one of the easier ones. I've seen harder. Okay, and then submit. And now it's verifying our account. This is where we have to go get our email. I'll go ahead and save my password. Okay, there's that. And then I don't usually do that. Okay, and now we're going to verify. There's that email, and here's the code that it wants us to use. So we'll just copy that and then paste it right there. Okay, we're verified. And then on this one, I just say just me and NA. You don't create a new account very often. Actually, you probably only do it once unless you're teaching a course on how to do it. Here, I just go ahead and hit continue. And now this is the part where we pick pay or not pay. We're free, so just go ahead and continue for free. And now we've got an account. So the first thing we're going to do in here is create a repository. Now, a repository is what holds our code. Let's call it blog because we're going to do a blog website. And we're actually deploying a full website right now. It's just going to have a page for hello, but it's going to be our blog. So I call it my blog, and then we'll make it public. And we're going to check the box for README because we want that to be created. And then this is for licensing. You're going to want to change that to something once you have your website up. The default's probably fine, but I'm just going to leave it at none right now, and we'll create the repository. Okay, we've got a blog repository now. And so what we need to do next is go to the settings tab. First, you can go ahead and clone this if you know how to use the git command line and clone it. Otherwise, you can open it with the desktop if you have that. What we're going to do is we're going to leverage the built-in editor, which is kind of neat. So if you click on that and then hit the period, it'll launch Visual Studio Code in the browser, which is really neat. And sometimes I use this for coding, especially if it's just front-end. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is create a folder, and we're going to call it docs, because that's what we can set the pages up to. And we're going to create our first file called index.html. That's the one that's called first. when it loads up on the browser. So let's go ahead and start with a doc type. All HTML pages should start with a doc type, and then there's an HTML tag, tags surrounding it. Head is where we'll put the title and other various things that we'll learn about later. For this title, let's just call it My Blog. And that's what shows up in the browser tab. And then here we're going to type out a body, and that's where our visual stuff goes. So let's just do a header 1, and until it makes it big text. And then we're just going to say hello. And then we'll save this. And then the next thing we're going to do is commit it by clicking on source control. And then right here, we'll just add a message. How about add index HTML to docs folder or something like that. Okay, and then this one I just dismissed that dialog, so I don't want to see it again. Commit and push means it pushed it to the repository, so now it's there. And if we click go to repository, now we're back in our GitHub repo, and we've got a docs folder with an index HTML page. So that's great. Next we go to settings. And if you need to pause this, go ahead and pause it. There's pages there, so now we're on pages, and then we're going to deploy from a branch, and that's the default. The branch is main because that's the one that's created first. It's the default. And then instead of root, we're going to change it to the docs folder and click save. Now just by clicking save there, it's going to go ahead and start deploying our website, which is pretty cool. And we can check the status for that. If you want to add a custom domain, we would put it here. So like for me, I put fullstackclouddeveloper.com there, and then you have to follow the configuration steps. A domain costs $12 a year approximately. We're trying to run this for free, so we're just going to leave that out for now. We'll go back to code, the code tab, and see that little orange or brown button. That is telling us that it's still deploying. It's a green checkbox when it's all good. And this says job completed, so it's all done. Let's go ahead and get back to pages somehow. So let's click on the code tab, and eventually pages shows up on the bottom right. There it is. So then we'll go there, and then there's our website. So we click on that, and boom, we're on the internet. So that's our HTML. Now, if we had a full-blown website, what we would do is go ahead and add more stuff to it. So I usually start with hello. That's the easiest thing to get the infrastructure up. Then you just keep adding to it. So what we're going to do next is add Bootstrap to this to make it look a little bit better. And that way we have Bootstrap as a tool to use throughout the rest of these lessons. Okay, so let's get started with Bootstrap in a moment.